Finally. Hi everyone, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. I tried to dye my hair blue at the blonde bit, but it didn't really go to blue. So maybe I needed to do another session, but I can't be bothered. So this is what I'm gonna be stuck with for the next week or 2 months. Anyway, that's out of the way. Today, oh, I just dropped my I dropped my phone. So today I want to talk about your mentality and like the record that's basically going off in your head is basically determining your life. Meaning like if you have this mindset in your head that it so I guess like the things that I want to talk about is you need to be careful about your mindset. um what's going on in your head about what your assumption about the world is usually going to come true for you, but it's not necessarily going to come true for other people. For example, if you think, oh, like, so just very specifically, barista is a very nasty occupation because I don't know, like all baristas are just a flirt. For example, if you're a woman and they just, flirt with you all the time, well, that's part of their job. It is a friendly factor. Um, so, you just assume that most baristas are bad. So you basically creating your reality to every time you buy coffee that you're gonna have a bad experience because you're gonna have a conversation with a barista and you don't like it, and then another person could come in and they would just have a good interaction, just a good no talk whatsoever, like, hey, hello, hey, how are you, hey, thank you, and then it's the same barista, it's just different people, so they have different experiences. Or if you say like, oh, foreigners are really bad and they are very violent, so it's almost like you're provoking this kind of tendency from people that are not from the same country sometimes. Or just like it's very simple, it's like, oh, women are crazy, so you always pull out the crazy out of women, while other people might be thinking, oh, women are so great, they are so helpful, they're so kind and generous, so they pull that out of women. Every time they interact with women, it will be like, because the way we behave always going to depend on what we assume about the other person in our head. If we meet another person and we think, oh my god, he's so generous, we're gonna be really kind. But if we think in our head like, oh my god, he's such a prick, you're gonna be very defensive even with your first word. So I think like this really remind me of the gorilla experiment. If you don't know what that is, go to YouTube and find gorilla psychology experiment. And if you can add like Jordan Peterson, I think he showed the experiment or the latest experiment in his one of his lecture series. So you can find a clip somewhere in the YouTube world, I guess. It's basically your motivation or your goal about what you want to find in the world will determine the level of perceptions that you are able to perceive from the world. The experiment was basically, the latest experiment is basically asking the audience or students to there to count how many times the ball is being passed. So and then you get to be shown a clip, and in on the clip you basically have two teams. One team is wearing white and the other team is wearing black, and then there's a ball being passed around. But what you don't know is that there will be a gorilla basically showing up in the middle of the clip, going blah, and then one member from the black team leave the frame, and then the curtain on the background change color. So and then by the end of the experiment they will ask you, rather than asking you how many balls, been passed around, how many number of times the ball have been passed around, they basically ask the real questions, which is what the test is about. Like, did you notice there was a gorilla? Did you notice that one of the person in the experiment basically left the frame? Did you notice that the background curtain has changed colors? So, and most of the people didn't see there was a gorilla in the movie at all, like a freaking gorilla. And then they didn't notice that the background, it didn't change color. And the experiment is basically showing you that the way your motivation is shaping your perceptions, because in the beginning all the students or the audience were basically primed by being asked the questions, or being asked to do a task, which is like count how many balls, how many times the ball will be passed around. So they have that motivation, they have that mindset. Oh, I need to find out how many times the ball being passed around. Like, and then they will just basically blind out the rest of other information that is not necessary to this particular mission. And having a mindset is very similar to that. So if you have a mindset, that's basically a motivation. Like, oh, a foreigner is bad. So anything that doesn't fall onto that particular statement, like a foreigner is good, a foreigner is warm, will be blanked out from your mind. Or if you say a woman is crazy, and so if anything that doesn't really fall under that particular motivation, under that statement, is like, oh, a woman is carrying it, like they won't be able to see when a woman is caring, they won't be able to hear when a woman being kind, they won't be able to see when a woman being very, very gentle and caring and nurturing. They won't be able to see that, because that's not inside their motivation, that's not inside the brain tasks to do. So it's very important to what's going on in your head. It's very important to give orders to your mind that you actually want to receive. Like, brain, show me a kind world, show me a kind person, show me whether this person, what kind about this person, what's great about this person, show me what's great about, I don't know, what's great about men. Show me, examples where men are very helpful. You need to ask the right questions so that your mind can actually gather informations based on those questions. So it's not about the answers at the end of the day. It's about what you want to prime your brain with. And I think it's extremely very, very important, because the level of quality of your life will be determined by this. You Whether you're going to have so much struggle, or whether you're going to cruise through, it's definitely going to live, is going to be something that you will appreciate in the future. I'm experiencing a lot of contrasting experiences lately with, like, like some people and I have the same event happening in our lives, and then we are having two different experiences. Like, I'm having like just a normal experience, like a very smooth sailing, like straightforward experience, while another person is having like such a dramatic experience about it, like, oh my god, there's this blah blah blah. And then like a 2-second transaction could kind of like extend to a 30 minutes drama for some reason. And then I realized lately, oh, it's because their mindset is very different than mine. My mindset is like, people know what they're doing, and if they don't, then I'll deal with that later. But it's extremely rare when people not really sure what they're doing. I have those experiences, of course, and usually those experiences happens usually at the top level, which is extremely surprising. But people at the bottom level, people who are on the front line, are usually very good at what they're doing, because they have to repeat a lot of tasks. And I realized, like, when people at the top their job is to think. And I realized that, when you've been doing a lot of mindless tasks for so many years, it's extremely difficult to upgrade your mind to think. But that is something that I need to be mindful of as a personal thing, I guess. Is not really the fact that the world is bad, is not the fact that I have a bad mindset about it as well. But yeah, anyway, hopefully today's talk is more useful than usual. I actually have a lot of things to talk about, so that was it for now. Oh, hopefully, that is, I don't like the way that comes out, but I couldn't do anything else because I only have one hand. No, I have two hands, but I couldn't reach the back. Anyway, have a good week, guys. I'll see you guys later. If you guys are here for arts, I know this is very late in the video. I have the arts are in the new channel. It's no longer here. Also, buy my stuff. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.